Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty one.
Oh, it will be. Yeah. Gonna be wicked. Yeah, it's fiberglass. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can look up in there and tell it's fiberglass. "2024 Forks Dragstrip reunion," and it's pretty safe to say that's the biggest crowd we've ever had down here. That's pretty, ain't it?
It sure is.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe then it- Mickey Thompson valve cover.
Yeah, that's the old Mickey Thompson valve covers. Yeah, that's neat. These things right here are worth a fortune now.
What, Broncos?
Yeah, these little baby Broncos.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that color.
There's the derby caps. You ever seen those? That's the original type of rally wheel caps. Is the what they call the derby. To me, they look like a flying saucer, like a UFO.
Yeah, they do.
Water. Picture of my water.
Yeah.
There's Wayne. Wayne made an appearance. Typhoon. Are you talking about a rare? You talking about a rare ride right here? All-wheel drive turbo. This was the hot rod of the 90s. Cyclone, the pickup truck version. This is the Blazer version. Did not expect to see one of these down here today. No, there's both GMC. One was a Blazer, one was a Jimmy, one was a yeah, whatever they called the S10 version of the GMC. Sierra, I think. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's the church. This is the fellowship hall. This is Tim's Monte Carlo, Marshall. Have you seen it yet? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he bought a nice car. This car was redone in like the early 90s. Well, they do. Those are pretty. They're hard to beat.
One of the last races of the year, 6,000 pound race. And this thing was running right on.
it. There's
Yeah,
you.
the goat.
There's you.
Wait a minute, that was that was kind of a goat sound. As long as they don't make a sheep sound.
59. 849. That's my status. Down here in my little Z3, that little silver. It's funky, but it's enough. She won't let me punch it too much. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's here. Hey Tim. Good to see you, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, sitting down there.
Yeah, I've been able to
Back
see
down
it.
in there
That thing
somewhere.
looks beautiful.
When he gets through with it,
Yeah.
man,
Still waiting on trim from the polisher.
Manual, I could do him like he does everybody else. Go down and tell him, well, you're ever going to fix it. You need to do this.
We'll go this way and then go back that way. That's a pretty steering wheel too. They had 66 with the 2-spoke.
Yeah.
But I got to give the 3 the edge, I think. This is a pretty paint job, man. Greg Porter painted it. I like this little green 55 4-door. Route 6677. I like the tag, that's neat. I like the color. I love the color green. It's a two-tone. I even like the color on the roof, but flames are kind of neat too. There's my 59 that I didn't wipe the dust off of before I came down here. Still waiting on trim from the polisher, but we're getting there. That's a Model A, I think. Yeah, they was still people riding in horse and buggies in that time. Well, heck, my granny said, she's born in 46. She said they still had a mule and a buggy. That was in the late 40s, early 50s.
Do you want to go find Dad? How you doing?
Bench seat 4-speed. Drag cars.
What's that thing? 87?
78, ain't it?
78? 78 or something like that.
Real Malibu.
Barbecue stew, small bread, dessert, tea, drinks, whatever, and y'all just enjoy yourself. And then when you finish eating, we got some door prizes in case y'all can't tell that we got some door prizes. But we all gonna do a little bit different, so it won't take us long this year. And I will be asking if you raced at 13 Forks, and we're gonna do this after y'all while y'all eat. But if you raced at 13 Forks, or if your father raced at 13 Forks, we got a special gift, and I want to put your name in the pot for that. So anyway, all right. So
Well, I think I run. Put them out. I don't know where they got mad at me about that like this. But anyway, I'm gonna give it to Robert. He can tell this stuff better than me. Later.
I was a teenager, and now I'm running where so I think I got a fast car. Gary drives his car. He gets things out of the trunk, he changes the tires, and he goes out there and he makes a pass. And I said, man, that car running that fast. I told one of my buddies, I said, watch this car when it runs again. Gary's out there running up and down the road. I mean, he's flying down the track. Running what, 1160s?
755. Street car.
1150s. And he drove it in. Well, that night, he messed around and done real good. I don't really want to race. But that night, he drove his car out. He put all the stuff in the trunk, drove off. Biggest thing I've ever seen.
Street car. And it finally blowed up. I got 3 more engines that were built at home. They ready to go. Don't know what I'm gonna do with them. My wife will sell them cheap if I keep them. That's about it. I just want to get
I think racing. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so
Bobby Ball, the cotton picker from Bush.
okay.
Graded on me. But that was the fastest thing I ever sat down in, and that's the reason why I stayed married 20 years. Because that was the closest thing I never. The whole thing I wanted to do was go to Dragstrip. I didn't want to go nowhere else. I loved it, man. That thing was a ride. It would put the fear of God in you.
The reason I was so interested in the Darrell Wynn picture was we know that I knew the family quite well before the family they were. In the early 80s and mid-80s, I was a sales rep for Quaker State Motor Oil. We worked out of the Atlanta warehouse, so we furnished the night top fuel oil for some of the races up there, especially if they had our logo on their car. And I got to know the Darrell Wynn family very well. And I carried my son with me to the Atlanta track, Southern Nationals, several times, and he got to be friends with Darrell. And then when he had the accident in England, it almost killed him over there, but he couldn't. I forget what parts of the body, one of the legs off, and he was unable to do anything much, but the family carried on the tradition. And so, that's why I was so, when you first brought that picture, I said, I want that picture. But I got to know that family real well, and they're good people, they're good racing people. And just a footnote on that, later on, we sponsored Kenny Bernstein in the Budweiser car that he had, and I think it was about a year or a year and a half after that, he broke the 300-mile, quarter-mile in that car. I believe it was about maybe a year and a half after that. Darrell had his accident over in England. Thank you.
Very good.
How did they come up with the name?
I don't know. Y'all know?
It's the 13 Forks community. We like to eat. We needed 13 forks. They like to eat, so they needed 13 forks so they could get it.
Mary said one time there was 13 little roads that came in together. And there was a grocery store.
His name was Jim Jones.
And that was a grocery store at 13.
Somebody said, does that ring a bell to anybody? I said, yeah, Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Anybody else have anything to say?
His name is Jim Jones. Yeah.
What size was the motor? Now tell me the truth, don't believe.
It came from the factory with a 283, but I ordered a 360 horse 409 block. Send it, put it. And it had 348, and when I get protested with the 348, I just turn around, and if I thought I'd have the same engine, me and Gene Cromer would put a 409 block of engine in and race it the next time till we got protested.
All right, so Mr. Gene's not here to defend himself, so we'll have to listen to that answer. So what I'm getting at is, my buddy John Boy, he's building this 57 out here, and he didn't have enough money to buy a large motor, so he just got what he could get, and it's 706 cubic inches. Mountain motor. So we had a conversation yesterday, and a guy asked me what he would take for the motor. I said, John Boy, if you sell a motor, what are you going to do? He said, buy me a big motor. I said, let's see how this one works out. So, 959 cubic inches. I want you all to kind of think about this. The car that Stan had was a nice car, and it won a lot of races. I don't know how much money he had in it. But I also want y'all to, when you get ready to go, walk out there and look at that 57. Look at the chassis work that's done on it. Look at the motor that's in that thing. Think about how much difference it is now than there was back in the late 60s, early 70s. We think that car out there is going to run 440, 390. Wait a minute, I better check my britches. 390 says. So
Bates model.
It's going to be fast. It's going to be fast. Stan always run.
How fast? Well, it depends on which engine. I have 4 different engines that I've run one a while, one another. I have one 409 Ford stroke 482 cubic inches. And we thought we had the cat's paw, but after about 50 runs, the lifter valley cracked all around the lifters, the front butt head and the rear butt head cracked, and had problems.
So then, if y'all don't know what he did, he called Gene Cromer's phone number, and he said, Mr. Gene, what do we do now? This thing busted wide open. Looked like a watermelon.
Well, Gene sold me my first race car. It was that blue Bel Air 2-door post, and it come with a 348. Gene said, let's have fun with it. And we took it out, and we put a 409 watters in it, and he put a special oil pan. Because the 348 has an oil stick on one side, and the 409 has another. So Gene used the top of the oil pan and welded a 2-inch.
Made it look like a 348. The key.
It wouldn't hit the rotating center. And run it as a 348 for 2 years, and it was actually a 409.
So there you go. That's what you call a cheating in his business.
Is that the same car that's on the back of the shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
We've been working on, look at this car on this shirt now. We've been working on this for several years trying to get this done, and we never got a picture good enough to do the shirt. And we finally got a picture good enough to do the shirt. And Miss Hilda called me and she said, I hear you're going to try to do a shirt with Stan's car. And I said, yes, ma'am, that's what we're planning on doing. She said, well, he fell out the back of the truck the other day. And I said, listen, I don't care if you have to hold time and drag him over there. Bring him over there because we're doing this shirt for him.
I didn't know about the shirt. I wasn't going to come.
Well, you know now.
Well, if you see
So,
my leg, now I've been on a walker every day except for a day from like this.
And some people say you've been on one all your life. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, we appreciate the shaker. Out of all these Castle guys here that race there, I'm telling you right now, and then Castle put on the show at 34. I have people come up to me and say, what about that cotton picture? What about that moonlight? And then I have them people that come up to me and say, what about that shaker? I think that more people remember that shaker than they do any car that raced out. And I think it was simply because the driver was so ugly, they just didn't But Jimmy, this is the Forks Dragstrip reunion, Stan Davis Day today. Yes, sir. You go back and sit down.
Yeah. He might have been fine. They going that way? Yeah. Oh, yes he will too.
They can't control. They can't resist. They can't resist. They can't resist. It's in your blood.
Yeah, that's an all-out race
You'll
car.
be going down through there.
Yeah, that's an all-out race car.
He
Right?
might get on it a little bit though.